Hello guys, I am Shawnthebro, and let me just start by saying that if I sound jumpy or scared or something like that today, it's because that something intense, really intense just happened. I can't go into it because I promised I wouldn't. Plus, it's nobody else's concern to be honest. But the point is that if I sound scared or worried or something like that, then that's why. Um, Still a little shaky from it, but everything's okay, and that's what's really important. But today I wanted to show you just how to make sprites in top-down shooter games. So I'm going to show you sprites from my game, which is I am making with my good friend Stevie, which is a girl. So don't get it confused like everyone else does. Whenever I say Stevie, they're like, Steve who? No, not Steve. Um, so that's why the character sprite's going to be a girl as well. So this one is me. Um, It looked a decent amount like me from the face, which I won't show you today for the dialogue box, but I'm just going to go through these real quick, and I will basically explain to you what I did to actually make them. But here you go, you can see them. I add shadows in there, and hair detail, and clothing detail, and weapon detail, and everything like that, so they don't have to be this advanced, but they look really good, in my opinion. You might not like them, but the little details like this, like holding the rocket actually on your shoulder, like you would do with most projectiles, such as the RPG or the small, and or it might be SMAW. I don't really know. Either way, I hear it said. So that, and I know your hand would be farther back on the top there, but that's okay because it's a game, and we can do whatever we want with it. However, the one thing that I really wanted to mention on how to create the sprites um, is not to go and steal other people's. That's not a good idea, because doing that would mean that you would be sued. Yeah, we don't want that to happen. That would not be good. So, what would be the best thing to do, in my opinion, would be first of all create it on your own if you can. Now I know you're like, well, thanks. That's a lot of help. I'm really glad that I had Shawnthebro tell me to create my own sprites. Now I'll go and do it. I know that doesn't help you, but just hear me out. Um, because if you can create them on your own, like take time and really try to create it. Look at the edging. It's not solid lines. They're all over the place, but when they go down, when you decrease the size and they're really small, then it looks very detailed. And that's part of the good thing. But my point is, you probably don't think that you can create your own sprites, or you're the exact opposite and you think that it'll be easy to create your own sprites. Well, depending on the person, either of those could be true. But my point was to show you that at least give faith in yourself to be able to make them, and at least try for a little bit, because I was a lot better at making them than I thought. However, something I often do for enemy sprites is get a template. It can be literally a blank, straight up white with black lining template made by someone. You can find them on Google Images or whatever. Make sure you get one that says free for use. You don't need credit, or you do need credit, but you can use it, or credit if you can email them. Make sure you actually do that. Now, for the zombies here, I actually did do that. I changed the arms, took away the weapon, and took away the backpack, but I took away the basic shape because I wanted to, or I used the basic shape because I wanted to not have the same sprite. Like, I didn't want Sean, Stevie, and the zombies to all be the same character model, just with different coloring and different details. So I used a small one, fair use. I actually have the person's name anyway, which I'll put in the credits. But then you can make your own. Like this one, I'm not done with it. I just kind of colored it random colors, and when you go away, it looks pretty good. And I'm going to do some effects here, and personally, I actually really like the way it looks. It looks like a bony zombie girl, like they normally are in games. And so you never know what you're going to get until you zoom out from it like it would be normal. So that's one thing, and then as I said, you can go try to get them from people for free use. But never use other people's stuff completely unless you're doing it for yourself or just for your friends. If you want to publish it, at least edit it, and I don't mean like color his hair red instead. I mean like at least change a few things because it actually feels really good too to know that that's your character and no one else's. But if you can get a template of just straight up white with the black outline, do all the changing to the hands and everything like that, then it'll work out actually extremely well for you and you'll be surprised. Now, this might not have been too much help to you as for the fact of how to make them, but I'll tell you a few more things real quick, a few more little hints for you. One, whatever you do, make sure you zoom out before you don't like it up here. Like, for example, look at this. Looks like green boxing gloves, right? Which is cool, and we could do that. But, do we want that during that? Oh, well, look how much better that looks when it's down there because it looks like there's a little detail. So, if you don't like it up close, that doesn't mean you won't like it down there. Just some advice. Always check that. Make sure there is a black outline the entire way across, even if it doesn't have to be normal. In fact, it'd be better if it wasn't in a straight line or on a curved line where every box is filled. And make diagonals. Make some black spots have more than one at a place and less, and only one at others because it gives shadow. Look at the bottom of Sean's arm right now. Her shoulder, I don't know what you would call that part, but it was two lines, and that's what actually makes the difference. The little things like that can actually make a big difference, and you can see it all still, but it looks good when you look at it together. So, sorry about not telling you too much about how I actually made it, but I will go in depth with it later. I wanted to show you I want to show you what I did personally, and then I'm going to be doing an actual creation of the sprite, and I want to do some drawings because I'm using the drawings that Steve and I did for the character animations. That's all I really had to say, but thank you guys for everything, and if you enjoyed, please rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye.